And now for our feature presentation.
Ten toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Ten toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Anything I do for the gang. Took those L's and I took that blame. All money in, we ain't copping no change. Feel like Ice Cube, cause a dead good day. Don't need 3 whips, don't need no race. I'ma keep it simple in the Chevy I skate. Thank the Lord every time I wait. Lace my shoes and I get to that cake. Heads up, I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. This is all we ever wanted. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Pedal to the floor, to the engine. Head up in the clouds when I levitate. We don't spit game, we just educate. 10-10-80, had a paper straight. Couldn't get it back then, so I had to wait. Now the money come to me, so I don't have to chase. I don't gotta flash nothing, I don't gotta fake, darling. We not practicing, we ballin'. And heads up, I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. Heads up, I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. This is all we ever wanted. I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang.
And now for our feature presentation.
Ten toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Ten toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Anything I do for the gang. Took those L's and I took that blame. All money in, we ain't copping no chain. Feel like Ice Cube, cause a dead good day. Don't need 3 whips, don't need no race. I'ma keep it simple in the Chevy I skate. Thank the Lord every time I wait. Lace my shoes and I get to that cake. Heads up, I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. This is all we ever wanted. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Pedal to the floor, to the engine. Head up in the clouds when I levitate. We don't spit game, we just educate. 10, 80, how the paper straight. Couldn't get it back then, so I had to wait. Now the money come to me, so I don't have to chase. I don't gotta flash none, I don't gotta fake, darling. We not practicing, we ballin'. And heads up, I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. I'm coming. This is all we ever wanted. Go and stack it by the hundreds. This is all we ever wanted. I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. 10 toes down, I'ma ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang.
Merry Christmas. Y'all thought, come on, man. Y'all thought I wasn't going to talk to y'all on Christmas? Come on, man. It's Christmas. I hope y'all having a good day. We got the NFL on. We got the NBA on. And I still don't like the fact that the NFL is on Christmas. Is you trying to do the NBA dirty? Let the NBA have Christmas. You got Thanksgiving. We don't need to see the NFL on Christmas. Even diehard NFL fans, you guys could take a break and watch some NBA basketball on Christmas. Right? Now check this shit out. The San Antonio Spurs are like second in the West, right? They got the second best record in the West. If this team goes out and wins a championship, because by being a second record-wise, being second in the West means you're a title contender. Now, if you're a title contender this early, and let's just say for argument's sake, you go on to win a championship. All right, let's just say you go on to win a championship. Wow, this proved my point that no teams win back-to-back championships no more, right? And a team winning a championship this early, like the San Antonio Spurs, is something crazy. That goes to show you that there is no legit, real good teams in the NBA. And I don't like. A lot of people think I have a problem with the three-point shooting in the NBA. I don't have a problem with the three-point shooting. I have a problem with the rules. Okay? The rules of the offensive play that he could get away with murder. I don't like the fact that offensive basketball players could get away with murder. They could push off. They could take extra steps. They got so much advantages. It makes it hard for anybody to play defense. Right? You almost have to rely on steals and just making people frustrated to play like good defense today. It's not the same. Damn, Wemby pump fake in the air, took a shot. He missed it, but damn. But if the Spurs win the championship with Victor this early, Lord have mercy. He not only would be a prodigy of the NBA, he would become the best player in the NBA in one season. If that's the case. Now, I don't get him on the top 5 because I'm never going to put a player in the top 5 that either has never won or has never been to the playoffs or have at least some postseason success. If you're going to be a top 5 player in the league, you got to have some postseason success. I'm not going to put a guy in the top 5 with no playoff experience. That may change after this year because Victor Wembanyama is having a great season. Right? He's having a great season. He got his team second in the Western Conference. Nobody would thought the San Antonio Spurs will have this type of record, let alone give the OKC Thunder problems. Now, I will say this much. People say, oh, it's just regular season games. That's right, because regular season don't really carry on to the postseason 100%. Here's the problem with the San Antonio Spurs and OKC matchup. The Spurs are going to the playoffs if they keep playing like this. Okay? The Spurs are going to the playoffs. They're the second best team in the West, record-wise. So that means they're going to meet the OKC down the road, probably the conference finals, right? And if they got this much of a mental edge over OKC, it's going to be hard for OKC to beat this team 4 games in a row in a week and vice versa. It could go either way. The San Antonio Spurs are looking like true kryptonite for the OKC. Now, if this carries on, if this regular season stuff carries on.
The Spurs have indeed had a good run against the Oklahoma City Thunder this season.
Look at that. Google is actually explaining it to me too. Google agrees with me. Hey, Google, stop. I don't know why Google even. Why is Google talking? I didn't even ask. But anyway, yes, the San Antonio Spurs is that team that's going to give the OKC problems. Teams that could defend, that got a lot of wing players, that got a lot of guards, that got a lot of guys that could score, some 3-and-D guys. They're a nightmare for a team like OKC. Okay, you got a lot of stretch fours, a lot of guys at 6'8", 6'9", that could shoot and defend. They're gonna always have a legit chance of winning a championship in today's league. You know, that's what you kind of need. And the Spurs got that. The Spurs got a lot of guards. They got a lot of quick guards. Then they got one of the promising best players in the league with Victor Wembanyama, right? So this is problematic. This is problematic because they set to beat the Spurs again. The Spurs are set to beat OKC again on Christmas. So this is becoming problematic. Okay, that's definitely a foul. Shay will go to the line on that one. But Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas. We got a lot of shit going on. So here's the funny part too. We got the San Antonio Spurs is on a Christmas game. Whoever thought San Antonio Spurs would be for Christmas? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. We got a lot of shit going on. 2026 is upon us in a couple days, y'all. I hope everybody is healthy. I hope everybody is good. I mean, shit. 2026, another good year, hopefully. A lot of good things going down. You know, like I said, the NFL is on, but this is the one day I'm not going to 100% focus on the NFL on Christmas. NFL, you got Thanksgiving. You don't need Christmas. He said Knicks took care of the Spurs last Xmas. Yeah. The Spurs about to take care of OKC if things don't change. This is, I believe, their second time beating OKC. They're a matchup problem for OKC. This is why I keep telling people, do not put all your eggs into one basket, thinking just because a team won a championship, they're going to do it again. So, yes. Shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks are trying to be that team in the East. Hopefully they could get to the finals. That'd be big. But imagine we get a Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs finals. I like my chances. I like the Knicks' chances of beating the Spurs in the NBA finals. I like my chances. That's the one team in the East that I think could beat the Spurs. You know, of course it's going to be a little bit problematic. Spurs would be a little green. They're a bunch of babies, you know, and the Knicks are a smarter basketball team. Well, should be. They have more postseason success. So I like the chances of the Knicks beating the Spurs in the NBA finals. I like it. You know, not saying it's going to happen, but I like the chances. We got the Spurs are a matchup problem for the OKC, but the Knicks is a matchup problem for the San Antonio Spurs because we got bigs, we got guys that can shoot the three, we got guys that could defend. All right, so we have a lot of stuff that gives the San Antonio Spurs problems, but Spurs got stuff that give OKC problems. You see how that turns out? This could be that one year that if the Knicks going to win the championship, this got to be the year. This is the one year that the Knicks could win the championship. This is the one year they could get away and stick with it. And they're going to be one and done. If the Knicks win the championship this year, they will not win the championship the very next year. That's you could put money on that. You could send that to the bank. 1990, yeah, but the only difference this time, we get a rematch. This time, the Knicks should come out on top. We need to beat the Spurs this time. But don't get fooled by this regular season record. It's just a regular season. OKC could crash out in the regular season, win 70 games, and lose in the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, teams that win 70 games don't really win championships that much, right? The 96 Bulls did it. The Warriors didn't do it. And I believe the Lakers came close. Or the Lakers did it, if I'm not mistaken. But they didn't win that year neither. So repeats are hard now because teams are not that good as they used to be. Right? And everybody's pretty much equal. It's like these NBA teams are like the NFL. Right? The reason why there's no true dominant basketball team. They all got advantages over each other. And at any given day, injuries or somebody could just get hot. The team that gets the hottest is going to win the NBA championship. That's how it's going to be now because all these teams are equal. They got equal talent. Everybody has a chance to win the championship now. Even like a 6th seed, a 3rd seed, because they match up well. There's no dominant basketball team. Well, I like our chances, G-Money. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I believe we got good chances of beating the San Antonio Spurs. They're green. It's going to be their first time in the NBA Finals. They're going to be a little nervous. We could steal game 1. We could steal game 2. You know, once we up 2 games, then we could just take over the series. We're going to drop a couple games to them, probably like 2 games, 1 in San Antonio, 2 in San Antonio, you know. But I think we could beat them, you know. I like my chances to beat the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals more than OKC. Because if it's OKC and the Knicks, I'm a little worried. And even if it's like a team like Houston and the Knicks, I'm less worried too. I believe we could beat Houston. Yeah. So you can't just go by regular season records. But a lot of these teams are equal. And which is good. There's no super teams in the NBA anymore. Every team got one all-star, then a sidekick. It reminds you of something? Back in the day. Every team got the number 1 option, number 2 option, and role players. Number 1 option, number 2 option, role players. Everybody is pretty much equal. Every team got a star player in the league. Every team got the Clippers, the Spurs, the Dallas Mavericks, the Lakers. Everybody got a star player. The Lakers got Luka, the number 1, LeBron, the number 2. And that's kind of funny that Luka tucked that team over. And LeBron didn't give him that team. Luka just tucked the team over. No, that is Luka's team. Luka is the number 1. And LeBron James is the number 2. He's finally the number 2. And the stats are kind of showing it. He's coming down to age. The man's been averaging like 17 a game last time I checked. I don't know if it went up. But 17 a game is close to role player numbers. That's Scottie Pippen-ish second option. Scottie Pippen was averaging around 17 points a game with Mike. So that's what LeBron James is now. He is that number 2 guy. Yes, G-Money is right on the money with that. I like how you're thinking. I like what you said. We definitely could beat any team in the West. The only team that scares us the most is the Thunder. But I'm hoping that San Antonio Spurs could take care of the Thunder. If they keep playing like this and the Thunder don't find them ways to figure this puzzle out, they're going to beat the Thunder. Right now, the Thunder don't know how to play this team. You could tell they look a little confused. But in the 7-game series, they're going to have time to study this team day and night, run schemes, run plans, oh, this guy don't like to go left. We're going to force him left for the whole series. This is the difference between a playoff and a one and done regular season game. You don't get to scout people in the regular season, but you get to scout people in the postseason. I get to study all your flaws. And I will exploit all your flaws in the playoffs. The playoffs is when you get exposed the most because people literally sit down and watch tape on you. And they make plans, they make strategies to try to beat you. That's one of the main differences, you know? That's the difference. If I have time to prep, sit down and see, okay, this is what this guy likes to do. He likes to go left. He likes to go right. He likes to shoot the mid-range. He likes to shoot threes. All he's going to shoot is just threes. Whatever. That's a more harder way to win. Yeah, playoffs is a complete different world from the regular season. The game slows down. It's more half court. It's more planning. It's chess, not checkers. The regular season is checkers. The playoffs is chess. It's a thinking man's game, and you got to be smart. All right? You will get exposed in the playoffs. Some of the best players to ever play this game got exposed in the playoffs. And their weaknesses got exposed until they got better at it. And everybody had a weakness who played the game of basketball until they perfected it. I'm serious. You know, that's team strategy. If you remember, they played Kobe. Oh, Kobe gonna shoot the ball a lot. So let's make him keep the ball and take a lot of shots so he can shoot his team out the game. You know, some of these games Kobe lost in the playoffs is because he shot his team out the game. He took more shots than needed, right? He took on the whole team by himself. That's the bad side of Kobe Bryant. Because if you get in his head and you say, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, and basketball is a team game, his teammates get they go missing. And it's just Kobe Bryant against 5 guys. And that's how you could beat Kobe Bryant sometimes. If you get in his head and you make him not play a team basketball game. Now, that didn't work the older he got. When he got older, you like when Shaq left, like 2009 Kobe Bryant, he was more smarter. But the younger version of Kobe Bryant will shoot you out of a basketball game. You know, he will shoot you out of a basketball game. Kobe Bryant would take 40 shots a game and win or lose. You know, that was the result. But sometimes, a lot of the times, if you're doing stuff like that, you can handicap your team and it makes the other team able to win more. Make sense? You know, it's hard to beat a team by yourself. You know, as great as you are, you have to figure out a way to win and maximize the talent around you too. That's the mark of being a leader. Kobe had to learn how to be a leader. You know, things of that nature. You know, LeBron James had to learn how to be a leader. He was a good stat stuffer, but he had to learn how to lead. He had to learn how to make sacrifices. He had to learn how to, you know, when to pass the ball, when not to pass the ball. Yeah, he's a little different from Kobe. LeBron was the complete opposite. He just didn't go for it. He would pass the ball up in big moments, or he would shy away from big moments. That was the difference between Kobe and LeBron. Kobe didn't shy away from the moment. All right. LeBron James did. That's the difference. LeBron didn't develop like a more tougher mentality until he met Dwayne Wade and went to Miami. Miami for LeBron James was like going to college. It made him a tougher basketball player. It made him take clutch shots, right? Because he didn't want to do that in the first 8 or 7 seasons on Cleveland. All right. He disappeared a lot in Cleveland. And it took Dwayne Wade and Miami Heat, that tough culture, to take him to school, mental school. You know, it made him tougher. Playing on the Miami Heat made LeBron James tougher. But when he played on the Cavaliers, he was a little soft. All right. He was a little soft in the middle, had a little pillow heart. You know, Pat Riley and them boys made him a little more tougher. D Wade was born tough. Some guys are just like born with that killer instinct. Dwayne Wade had it. Michael Jordan definitely had it. Kobe had it. Those guys was just born with that killer edge. You know, Russell Westbrook is born with a killer edge. Only problem with Russell Westbrook, he don't got the talent to match it. But that killer edge at least let him go to the finals a couple times. He won an MVP. You know, if you're out there trying your very best, you're going to get some results, even if it's not a championship. So, yeah. That's the difference. Chris Paul was a dog. You know, it's kind of a shame how the Clippers did him. The Clippers did Chris Paul dirty, you know. But that goes to show you don't get mad when the players do an organization dirty then. It's a business. You know, so keep that same energy. Because when a player leaves a team, everybody says, oh, he owes it to the city. He got to stay. He got to do this. He can't look after his best interests. But the business always look after their best interests. So if the business is always looking after their best interests, why can't the player look after his own interests? Right? He's the one that putting his body on the line. So if he want to go to a place that, you know, better, makes him better, then why not? Oh, 95-80. So it's a 15-point lead for the Spurs. Yeah, I mean, here's the danger, money. They got those young guns, man. The Spurs are dangerous, and Victor Wembanyama is one of the best players in the NBA defensively without even trying. It's just because he's so tall. He just puts his hands up and he blocks shots automatically. You know, even if he's not looking to play defense, he's just going to block your shot anyway because he's too damn tall. If they didn't input the 5-second rule and Victor Wembanyama could camp out in the post, like how they used to do back in the day, oh my God. It'd be hard for a lot of people to score if Victor Wembanyama is just camping out there in the post and never leaves. The fact that there's a 5-second rule and he can't stay in the post all day, that opens up the lane. But if it, man. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And those young bucks are making a name for themselves, G-Money. Castle, Fox. De'Aaron Fox already's made a name for himself. People know who De'Aaron Fox is. You know, So no surprise there. But the rest of the guys like Castle and, Harper and all these dudes, they're really making their own bones. They're making a name for themselves. Fox is an all-star. He's going to be an all-star this year? Probably, yeah, because the Spurs are the second place in the league. So you may have to take somebody else in there. Victor Wembanyama definitely going to the all-star game. So if Fox don't get in, we all know Victor's definitely going to be an all-star. Yeah, they're starting to, man, they're getting a little bit momentum. They better figure out something. Because the Spurs are fully confident in playing OKC. If the Spurs play OKC in playoffs, I'm predicting this right now. 7 games. That's a 7-game series. If the Thunder could push OKC to the 7 games, I mean, not the Thunder. If Denver could push OKC to 7 games, San Antonio Spurs could push OKC to 7 games. He's forever. Nah, he a one-time all-star. He got to be consistently an all-star to be like a legit all-star. You got to be there every year almost, like consistently, like a 10-time all-star. If you go to the all-star, if you're an all-star for 1 season, 2 seasons, then you just fade to a role player, you're not an all-star anymore, bro. You got to be like a consistent all-star. Multiple times. But I don't know. He may get it back this year. So this will be like his second time being an all-star, if that's the case. So he may deserve it. He may deserve somebody on the Spurs deserve it, other than Victor, because they're the second seed and teams win games. So you can't just give everything to Victor. You got to make somebody else on that team an all-star nod. Somebody else on that team better get an all-star nod. Hold on for a second, y'all. 10-point lead. What the hell? Don't tell me this thing is open. Okay, that's this week. Confirm. All right, I'm back. Had to. No, that ain't true. Because All-Stars is a consistent thing that you have to be at. You can't be an All-Star every year. All-Star is a thing that you have to be every year. A championship is something different. That's a group accomplishment. This is an individual accomplishment of your greatness. You have to be a multiple-time All-Star. A one-time All-Star is not a true All-Star. That's an off and on All-Star. You need to make multiple All-Stars to be a consistent All-Star. That's the point of it. If Kobe's a one-time All-Star and then he just went to being a role player, averaging 10, 15 points a game, that's not an All-Star anymore. That's not an elite player. That's not a number one option. How's that possible? A one-time All-Star? So a one-time All-Star is forever an All-Star, even if he averaging 5 points a game. Nah. It's not what you did in the past, it's what you do lately. Being an all-star is all about the now. Are you an all-star now? Are you going to be an all-star next year? Year after that? Continuously. Like LeBron James is a true all-star because he's an all-star every single year. Kobe, Jordan, multiple years. Those are true all-stars. Well, technically, they're superstars as well. But, yeah. But one time don't make you a forever all-star because you could be out the league. You could be coming off the bench and being a role player. All-star is not a guy averaging 5 points. All-star is not a guy coming off the bench. If you all-star yesteryear, don't mean you're an all-star now. Times change. People change. Times change. You could forever be a champion, but you can't forever be an all-star because that's about your health and that's about where you at. That's your prime. That's your peak prime. Were you an all-star in your peak prime? Luke is a top 5 player in the league, though. The stats prove it. That's different. Luka got the stats to prove that he's an all-star. He's a number 1 option. He's a franchise player. His team consistently wins. Now they do. They're in hunt for championships almost every season. He's in race for MVP every single year. Now, he didn't make the all-star game because of injuries or whatever the case may be, or he was out. That's different. But if he's elected to be an all-star, he's an all-star. We all know Luka's an all-star because he's an all-star every single year. He's a top 5 player to y'all every single year. If Wemby don't make another all-star team and there's only one way he won't make another all-star team, though, G-Money, is if his stats go down and he doesn't perform like an all-star. In order to be an all-star, you have to perform like one. You can't perform for averaging 5 points a game or coming off the bench. No, because if that's the case, then you would at least get in there. You can't be playing at an all-star level consistently every single year and not be considered an all-star. Especially if you're averaging 27, 28 points a game and your team is winning. You're the number 1 option. Of course you're going to be an all-star. But all-star is a yearly thing. It's not a lifetime achievement award. It's a yearly thing. No, it's a yearly thing. It's not an all-star thing. It's not a thing where you get a lifetime achievement award. All-star is a yearly thing. Are you the best player? Are you an all-star for that single year? Are you playing at a high level for that year? And if you do it consistently every single year, then that's a different story. Monty Ellis was okay. I wouldn't call him an all-star. He's just a guy that inflated numbers up. And his team didn't win. I said all-star just because you pitting up, you can average 16, 18 points. That would make you an all-star. You got to be winning and playing at a high level consistently. Jamal Murray's off and on. He ain't no true all-star neither. He performs well in the postseason. He like Jimmy Butler. He ain't a consistent player like that. The only true all-star on that team really is the Joker. And he's also a superstar. The Joker is the superstar. But Jamal Murray, and third string. If somebody's hurt, they're injured, then you could put Jamal Murray in an all-star game. But in no world is Jamal Murray in a starting lineup for an all-star game. Come on, man. Jamal Murray ain't no starting lineup for no all-star game. He ain't elite like that. You're gonna have your Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders, your Anthony Edwards, your Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, dudes like that. Do you see Jamal Murray name in that same sentence? You're not number 1. He had moments though. He got good postseason moments, yeah. With all due respect to Jamal Murray, I'm not disrespecting the guy, but he don't play consistently enough to be no all-star. And he's not elite or best at anything. He's just off and on. Sometimes he's hot as the you know what, and then sometimes he's just cold and he breaking shots. No, the Joker's consistent with it. Even Luka's consistent with it. These guys are consistent with dominant numbers. More times than not, they deliver it. But All-Star is not a one-year thing, man. An All-Star is a multi-year thing. It's what have you done for me lately? It's not a lifetime achievement award. It's just a yearly award. Like, I could say the year 2003, when he made that All-Star thing, he was at his best. I said, oh, yeah, he was an All-Star definitely that year. But I don't know about the rest of them years. The team wasn't winning. He was just picking up some couple good numbers here and there, but not enough to be picked over the other guys. Then what the hell happened to Wembanyama? He just fell down. To forever be an all-star, that means even if you're playing at your worst, you're still an all-star? No, you're out of your prime. You're not the best no more. You're not elite no more. What made you special to play at a high level is no longer there. Is Chris Paul still an all-star? No, he was an all-star, past tense. Now he's a role player. Your status could change. Your status definitely could change. Your status could change even from a superstar. Dwight Howard was once considered a superstar. In his later years, was he a superstar anymore? No, because his level of play went down. He wasn't the best defensive player in the league anymore. He wasn't a top 5 player in the league anymore. Consistency, man. That's what made the Jordans, the Kobes, the LeBrons great. They played at a high level for a long time. It's hard being an all-star playing at a high level every single year. You think that's not easy. You know, I was once a basketball player. I was once a pro basketball player. But now I'm out of shape. I can't play good that much as I used to. I am no longer the player that I used to be. So if I played at an all-star level, I was in my peak prime, I'm damn sure ain't that no more. I can't even call myself no all-star anymore. My body don't feel like it. My brain don't feel like it. I am done. Okay? There ain't no more high flying, dunking. I used to be able to, man, before I even started to dunk, I used to be able to dunk. When I was 15, 16, jumping out the gym. When I became 18, I started grabbing onto the rim, holding on to that mug. You know? Yeah, but his team was losing, man. And there's other guys that was playing better than him. Monte Ellis ain't no all-star. And if he was, he could have been, you could have a single year where people don't make it to be an all-star and you thought they was. That was their best time. That was their best prime. There are, here's the thing, G-Money. There is exceptions to the rules with anything in life, right? So you can sit there, you ever heard of all-star stubs? So you could say Monte Ellis was an all-star stub. Let's just say, for argument's sake, he's an all-star stub for that year. That's just that year. That don't make him a forever all-star. He ain't gonna be no all-star if he out of his prime and broke. Derrick Rose, was he an all-star past his best prime when he was like a top point guard in the league? Derrick Rose was Derrick Rose as an all-star. But when he became Derrick Rose, I'm going to team after team. I'm a role player now. That wasn't the same Derrick Rose anymore. People do change. You cannot stay an all-star forever. Look at LeBron James. LeBron James' numbers are going down. You can't stay at a high level all the time. That's why you got to appreciate what you got before it goes, because you're not going to be called an all-star forever. Now, LeBron James is a superstar in name, but he ain't going to never be a superstar on a basketball court no more. As far for playing basketball, he won't be at a superstar level no more. He ain't going to be no number one option anymore. Those days are pretty much over. But LeBron James, the name, is a superstar. All right? Now you could pit, if LeBron James' name exceeds the sport of basketball, then he's beyond a superstar. He's more like an icon, right? The same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is an icon. He's not a superstar. He's an icon because people who don't even play basketball know who Michael Jordan is. His name exceeded past the sport. Kobe Bryant is an icon. LeBron James is an icon because the name alone, people know who it is, right? But there's all-star stubs. I'm not saying there's not. There's all-star. There's some guys that could have been an all-star for a year or two, you know? But yeah, you're right on that. Monte Ellis could have been an all-star. Let's just say for argument's sake, he could have been. But he got stubbed. And that was his only time that he could have been one. But he wasn't going to be no consistent all-star. So I get it. I mean, sadly, he never became an all-star. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. But all-star is a yearly thing, man. It's like, what have you done for me lately type of thing. It's not a thing that stays with you forever. A championship stays with you forever. It's a rat. It hangs up in a banner. It goes beyond the time, right? It stays with the sport forever. But you being an all-star don't stay forever. Unfortunately, that don't stay forever. You know, you can't play at a high level forever. And Monte Ellis missed his boat. So there are some guys that were all-star stubs. I give you that, right? I understand exactly where you're coming from. But my point is, if they didn't make the all-star game at that time, they ain't going to make it again. There are one-and-done all-stars. Guys that just all-star for a year. That don't make them an all-star forever. Because I know they end up becoming role players. Look at Draymond Green. Y'all call him a role player. Nobody called Draymond Green no all-star. But he was an all-star for a year or two in his peak prime, at his very best. He was an all-star for 1 or 2 seasons, right? But he's never going to be an all-star again. He is now known as a role player. That's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. You're never going to mention the name all-star and Draymond Green in the same sentence. He will forever be a role player because he don't play enough, consistently enough at a high level to be an all-star. He had one and done. Like Stephen A. Smith said, a dead clock is right twice a day. What he means by that is if a clock stays at 12 o'clock every single day, guess what? Every single day that clock is going to hit. There's going to be a time where it hits 12 o'clock and it's going to be right. Yeah, was that an air ball? Even with guys like Michael Jordan was an all-star. If Michael Jordan played basketball today, he is not no all-star. All right. And if you put Michael Jordan in an all-star game just because of his name, that'd be the only reason why he even deserved to be in an all-star game if he was in one right now at 50-something years old. I mean, actually, he's 60. Right? You can make a case LeBron James don't deserve to be an all-star. It really just needs to be Luka. But the name LeBron James is big. He's a superstar. So he may just get in there by name. So sometimes guys get stubbed. That's just the politics of the game. You know, politics, basketball politics. You know, LeBron James may be an all-star this year, but you may question rather he deserved to be an all-star this year at all. Because you may say, I don't think he's playing at that level this year. You're doing rare exceptions. I just told you there are exceptions to the rules. You absolutely do need to be playing at a high level to be an all-star consistently. An all-star 1 or 2 years is not. Dirk was never going to be no all-star multiple years with averaging 6.9 points. Come on, you know that. Guys don't become all-stars by averaging 6 points a game consistently. And if you make it 1 year by some miracle happens and you make it to be an all-star for 1 year, averaging 6 points a game, there's something wrong with that. It's a little glitch in the system, but things happen, mistakes happen. But let's not go with the exceptions of the rules. It's something that barely happens. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be an all-star. He don't average 6 points a game. Giannis don't average 6 points a game. The Joker don't average 6 points a game. Steph don't average 6 points a game. LeBron don't average 6 points a game. Luka don't average 6 points a game. That's not average. That's not common. You're giving me very examples that need research on, but they're very little bit examples. They don't make, they're one and dones. I mean, you could believe that, but that's not a fact. Because an all-star is a yearly thing. That's not a fact at all. How's a guy's forever an all-star if he only been an all-star one time? Yeah, but the rest of his career, he's playing like a role player. He's not even considered one of the best players in the league. So Michael Jordan's forever an all-star? If Michael Jordan played basketball right now, he would not be no all-star. And the only way he would get in is by his name. He said Spurs played at all-star level. You know, that's just the fact, sir. It's a yearly thing, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. All-star is a yearly award, just like the MVP. Now, the MVP is different because it's an award that you win. You know, all-star thing is something that you have to be nominated for. But still, you got to have some criteria to be an all-star. You can't average 6 points consistently and be no all-star. Look at Draymond Green. Never stepped foot as an all-star again. And he's never going to be an all-star again. He's a role player. He ain't no forever all-star. He's a role player. And y'all call him role player. Even you did, G-Money. Because everybody was sitting here talking about this gimmick that he was the greatest role player of all time. You already took him out of the all-star conversation. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. You know. But yes, the Spurs are playing at an all-star level today, and they whooping on the champs. And this is their second time whooping on the champs. So now they got full confidence that they could beat that team. Now, you could be a Hall of Famer. You could forever be a Hall of Famer. That's an award that stays with you forever. Now, that's something different. Some awards stay with you forever. Hall of Famer is something that stays with you forever. Regardless of what you do, you will always be a Hall of Famer. That is written in stone. That's like having your name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You're forever one of the greatest, right? It's like winning a championship for an individual. A Hall of Famer is like a championship for an individual. Just by yourself. You know, Hall of Famer always will stay a Hall of Famer. But you damn sure ain't going to be called no all-star if you ain't playing like one consistently. That shit goes away. Man, look at De'Aaron Fox just getting busy. They're just attacking these boys like crazy, G-Money. Oh, look at this, man. Look at this. OKC about to lose 17 points on Christmas. Make that 15 points. They're about to lose a 15-point game on Christmas. You know. Just like being a rookie. Rookie of the year is a one-time thing. You only get one chance to be a rookie. You can't be a rookie forever. You get 1 year to be a rookie. That's the best year you can make as your rookie. You can't be a rookie. You ain't forever a rookie. You only a rookie one time. You only get one sophomore year. You only get one chance to consistently be an all-star. Then that's it. But it goes away. It's a limited time offer. It's just to celebrate you playing at a high level for a certain period of time. That's what it is. And then it disappears. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was once a role player. Now he's a superstar. Or not, well, an all-star on the verge of being a superstar. Right? So you can change, and you could change to go up, and you could change to go down. It fluctuates. You don't forever stay a role player. Giannis was once a role player. Now Giannis is a superstar. So he went past all-star. Now he's a superstar. You could change, but guess what? If Giannis ever disappears and his career changes, he could go back to being a role player. 5 or probably 10 years from now, Giannis will be a role player. He won't be playing at this high level no more. Spurs were superstars today. Yes, they was. They played at a high level today. Yes, they did. What a great team, man. And G-Money, they're so young. They're so young. So that gives you the potential of what this team could do in the future. Maybe the Spurs have a chance of being a true dynasty more than OKC. So it's going to come down to who can win more championships. OKC or the Spurs. That's a good thing. Now let's skip over to the next topic. Who you think could win more championships in the future? OKC or the Spurs? Who is more primed to win more championships out of these two young teams? Because they're both babies. They're both young teams. The OKC is not an old team. They just won a championship. They only got one championship. Okay? They didn't win 6 championships. They didn't win 5. They didn't even win 2. They just got one championship. Okay, you got the Thunder. The Spurs is such a mystery for me. I don't know. But if you believe in Wemby, if you believe in the San Antonio Spurs, you may be primed to say the San Antonio Spurs will be that team to beat. You know what I mean? Like they're the team to beat. They're the team that everybody's going to be like, okay, you know what? This is it. Who knows? I want to see what the Spurs could do in the postseason. That's what I want to see. I want to see what they got in the postseason. That's going to tell a lot because you can't judge them just based off the regular season. What can they do in the playoffs? I need to see what the Spurs look like in the playoffs. I need to see some postseason success. Then I could get a better assessment of what's going on. But what's the next game, G Money? Yeah. G Money's like my schedule guy sometimes. You know, if I don't know what's the next game going on, I'd be like, yo, G Money, what's the next game? Next game is at 5:30. Next one after that is 7:30. He got the whole list. You know, he's like a calculator for sports. He tell me all the games that's coming on at whatever time, what channel. He got the 411 that quick. No, also some guy at my job hooked me up with a site that I could watch these games for free, even better. So I'm glad for that. I am glad for that. You know what I was thinking? Why TVs don't get a web browser on them? I mean, they got apps, but they don't have a web browser. It'd be good to have a TV that have a web browser on it, that has its own operating system on it. That'd cost a lot of money though. A computer and TV rolled into one. OKC thought they was going to win this game. They came out with their chest poking out. They came out feeling happy. And then the Spurs was like, we got this one. Damn, he cooked Wemby on that. SGA cooked Wemby on that little move. But that's the thing. You give the offensive player too much freedom. You see how he pushed Wemby off? That should be an offensive foul. Why are you pushing off the defender? Now you're making it even harder for the defender to play defense because you just push him off. See, those moves should be illegal, bro. But the Spurs ain't no joke this regular season. They beat on the Lakers. They beat on the OKC. They beat some of the best teams in the West. His teammates call him the best player in the world. This guy is like he could be destined to be the next Kareem and Bill Russell rolling one. Imagine that. Imagine somebody of this generation has the same impact as Bill Russell and Kareem rolled into one. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. If Victor could, his defense is only going to get better. So if he becomes the Bill Russell of this era, combined with the Kareem of this era, because he could score too. Sky's the limit for this boy. Sky is the limit. He's like one punch man. His meter has been broken. Right? He has potential. He has GOAT potential. He got what I call, there's some players that I label as GOAT potential. He has it. He got GOAT potential. That's a lot of potential. I'm going to say this live. I'm going to say this live right here for everybody to see. All right? Say it live right now. Victor Wembanyama, if he could be Bill Russell and Kareem rolled into one, that'd be enough to surpass Michael Jordan. And if he wins on top of that, if he wins like Bill Russell, plays like Kareem, defense like Bill Russell, scores like Kareem, all rolled into one, that's enough to surpass Michael Jordan. That'd be enough to surpass Michael Jordan. He has potential, GOAT potential. He could surpass Michael Jordan if he play his cards right. If he wins 5 championships with this San Antonio Spurs team, no super team, he just gets the job done. Finals MVP, multiple time MVP, best player in the world. 5 to 6 championships. He'd be knocking at Jordan's door, if not breaking it down. I'm just saying, it's a lot to do, but he got scary potential. He got scary potential. Kevin Garnett said Steph Curry is the best player of the generation, better than LeBron James. Fine, that's warranted because they both got the same amount of championships. They both have almost the same impact. You could say Steph changed the game a little more because people want to be like Steph more. Steph definitely changed this generation of basketball. But anyway, Victor Wembanyama could surpass both of them easily. He get a three-peat. He can surpass both of them. It'll take a three-peat for him to surpass both of them and despite the fact that they will have one more championship than him. A three-peat will be enough to do it because it's more dominance. It's more dominance than LeBron and Steph Curry ever had. Man, let me tell you that much. Because if you could three-peat, you are one of the most dominant basketball players of your generation. It takes a lot to three-peat. And you could repeat more than once, then you're really dominant. But if Victor Wembanyama could get 3 championships back to back to back, Steph never did it. LeBron never did it. And LeBron had to constantly change teams to do it. If Victor could do it with just this team, a three-peat, he'd be better than LeBron James. He will surpass LeBron James with a three-peat, and assuming that he wins finals MVPs and best player in the league and all this other stuff, that will always come with the territory. If he could get all that other stuff all rolled into one, he will surpass LeBron James. Without a doubt. He got GOAT potential. LeBron James don't have it no more. See how I say some things could come and go? LeBron James lost his GOAT potential, but Victor has it. Victor has it. That boat was already sailed for LeBron James. It's over with. Your fans are just going to stay your fans. Your diehard fans is going to stay your diehard fans. That little LeBron cult is going to stay exactly where it's at. It's not going to convert the whole world to making think that LeBron's the GOAT. That's over with. That whole LeBron thing, the GOAT, nobody even talk about that no more. That's over. Now we're looking for the next challenge. The next challenge, this man, Victor Wembanyama, could become the greatest basketball player of all time. He has potential of doing that. Which would be kind of crazy because he's a big. And up until Michael Jordan, the only players that you were saying was the greatest ever was bigs. Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. These are all guys that play the 5 position. So historically, the best players to ever play basketball was always bigs, right? It took a while for some people to say like the Jordans, Kobe's, and LeBrons are the greatest. They had to really earn their mark to be called the greatest because historically, those guys aren't called the greatest. Basketball in general is always looked at as the big guy being the best ever. And Victor will be adding to that if that's the case. He's going to be probably the next great big in basketball history. No. But he got potential to surpass all them bigs. Shaq, Kareem, it's a long list. Shaq, Kareem, Bill Russell, all the guys that play the 5 position. Victor has potential to surpass them. Keyword, potential. I didn't say he is better than them. I said potential. So. But I will be back for the halftime of the Warriors in this game. But for the meanwhile, I have to take a breather. I come back every halftime. I'm out. Peace.